I didn't know Oppenheimer started with Prometheus, but that Sunday that Oppenheimer was released, I began my message with Prometheus.
It's interesting, isn't it?
And then I go see Oppenheimer 2 days later, and I'm shocked that it opens up with the exact same story that I opened up my message with on Sunday. So sometimes it just feels like there's just something out there in the universe. It's like a conversation that we're all supposed to be in.
It is odd, right?
If we're paying attention, if you're listening.
There is an odd synchronicity that we have with the universe.
Yeah, and that is to me the other great space in the arena. Because we have the 3 pillars: communication, leadership, and character. But that space in between is the big ideas.
Yeah.
And that's where you came up with the name of the arena, because I said, I want something like the Areopagus. I want a place where, I was a follower of Socrates before I was a follower of Jesus, you know, and
we were riding bikes, me and you.
And I said, I want a place where Socrates is like defending truth, and he's arguing with, the council, and I want a place where we debate big ideas, and we talk about philosophy and theology and culture and leadership and artificial intelligence and, whatever else is out there. And you go, oh, that's the arena. And the moment you said it, it was so obvious that was the name. I don't always have the best idea, but I'm really good at identifying the best idea.
You are the wood that burns the flame. And if we stay warm and create from it, it's because you kept it going, And I think we were riding our bikes, and you were like shouting out names, and you're like virtue. And I was like, I don't know. You're like, Socrates made it cool. We can make it cool again.
Yeah, but I said, I think we should call it the Acropolis.
And I think I was like, no.
Like, what's the Acropolis?
What's the Acropolis?
Can't even pronounce it. And then you go, no, it's the arena. And I knew instantly that
I think we went
my idea was dead.
Well, I think we went Acropolis, and then we went Colosseum, and then we went to something, and then we knew it was this place that we wanted to have a place where we could battle with ideas.
And then being Latin, the word arena is arena, which means sand.
Oh.
And because the sand is what they would throw on the ground where the gladiators would fight, and that's why you have the image of the gladiator grabbing the sand and letting it slip through his hands before he grabs his sword. And the arena is like the sand where we stand and go to war over great ideas.
I'm referring back to that. I mean, I love this. I love this conversation. I love creating with you. Like, I think, I've been more nervous. I couldn't sit in London any longer. I was having the best time. I got that. Shout out to my great friend McLaren. Shout out to Austin for being patient and working with me in the hours of, in London I was working like 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. and going to dinners afterwards, and Austin was bearing with me and doing so much on his own, and it wasn't ideal timing, but it was ideal, in its own way. But I couldn't hold back, and I was in the shower today, and I was like, man, I'm nervous. Like I'm anxious.
Yeah, of course.
Like I feel a desperation for this, and it isn't because I'm afraid to fail. I would hate it if it does. And we talked about this, like, what is failure to us? Like, no, we're so committed to doing this. This idea feels scary. It feels monolithic. It feels like we're at the bottom of a mountain, and we get to go on this journey together. So,
I think you're nervous because we know how important this is.
Yeah.
And how significant it could be on a global scale, and it's almost like this is an idea whose time has come. We just want to mess it up.
We don't. We don't.
Speaking of that, though.
Wait. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, go. Well, what are you going to talk about?
I was going to take a hard right turn, so go ahead.
Well, no. Well, because I forgot about like maybe one of the biggest things that it's included in the arena.
What's that?
We're doing the arena live in Los Angeles. So it's not just an online community. We're literally doing a conference summit at Mosaic in Hollywood.
Yes.
But it's the arena is hosting it.
October 6th and 7th, Friday and Saturday.
6th and 7th, Friday and Saturday. And here are the speakers. You want to walk us through it?
Let's walk through a couple of speakers. Let me give you just a couple. Well, part of the reason I'm overdressed today
is because
I'm on my way to
you look good.
Do a podcast with my friend Lewis Howes.
Okay.
And I'm going to go over to the School of Greatness and have a conversation with him over there, probably about my next book, Mind Shift, and the arena. And Lewis is going to be one of the speakers.
Yeah.
In the arena.
Yeah.
On October 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
Also, my friend John Gordon.
Yeah.
Who's had like a dozen number one, whatever,
bestsellers,
Wall Street bestsellers, and he'll be speaking as well.
Yeah.
And I have a new friend I've invited named Todd Herman, and what fascinated me about Todd is that Todd has a book around the concept of creating alter egos, and he is basically the mindset coach for Rafa Nadal, for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Also, he was the guy who Kobe hired, and he created
Black Mamba, right?
Black Mamba, the alter ego Black Mamba for Kobe.
He's actually speaking?
Yeah, he's going to be speaking. He's
the guy?
Yeah, he's the guy. And yeah, and Todd's going to, I'm basically inviting.
I haven't met him.
Friends in my life who I love to hear and interact with.
Sorry. No. We should announce Jamie.
We have Jamie Kern Lima who's coming, and of course,
Jamie Kern Lima. Just Google her.
She's one of the few women in the United States who started a company from scratch and sold it for $1.2 billion after, I think, 9 years.
Yeah.
So, it took her a long time.
Long time. What?
What could she have done with 2 decades?
What could she have done with 10 years? But Google It Cosmetics.
Yeah.
Check out her book, Believe It. Yeah. She's like a sleeper.
Yeah.
Because she's so energetic and so enthusiastic and such like this kind of like when it comes to influence and effectiveness, like she can go pound to pound with some of the biggest entrepreneurs out there in the world. But she's made it so much about bringing joy and inspiration and entrepreneurship to women and young people all over the world. And she just has a unique perspective.
Yeah, she could come in and be a shark.
Yeah,
she could be the killer whale that just eats everybody, but she doesn't. She comes in and talks about having worked at Denny's, and she believes in the underdog.
Yeah, and
that's her. I think her whole focus.
Yeah,
oftentimes. So those are just some of the speakers that we have.
Is she the underdog, man? I don't want to see the dog.
We have others coming. In fact, I just had a few people. Oh, my friend Jerry Lorenzo confirmed yesterday.
Yeah,
founder of Fear of God.
And
probably the most influential fashion brand
on this planet.
On the planet, yeah.
Of human history.
He's going to do something, and then
what?
Pierre Whitesell is going to speak. And
that's our new friend.
Wanted to make sure we had some really great both male and female representation in the group.
And these are all people who are in the business space for the most part. John kind of dabbles in being in both, obviously the spiritual and the business.
But really, they're all known just for being in the business space.
Yeah.
But as they found a faith. In fact, it's kind of funny because, I've had some influence in some of their lives.
Yeah.
And when I first knew them, they were only in the business space. And now they talk about their faith all the time. And I said, some of you actually are preaching a lot more. Nobody knows it because you're speaking at IBM. So they think you're only doing a business talk. And so it's going to be a great group.
And really there's excited. More. And there's more.
Yeah.
And so, the Arena Live in Los Angeles isn't exclusive to just people in the arena. Mm-hmm. If you go to the arena, you go to owenmcmanus.com, you can find ways to essentially to register for the live event. Mm-hmm. It's going to be 2 days. It's going to be very exciting. I'm very excited. Yeah. It's going to be completely different. And this is the first one. And I think this to me feels like what you did when I was a little kid called Origins. Back at Mosaic, and it was the first thing. It was East Los Angeles, and it was a creative arts conference, leadership and creativity and spirituality. This feels like that. This feels like the brainchild of 30 years of maybe manifestation and prayers and ideation, and then to be able to host it in our home at Mosaic is a gift because we're just the best people and the best team here. So it's gonna be very exciting.